Limited here, 53 Faction War. This is Argus Desert Gate and Space Marines versus Tyranids. First up, for the blue Space Marine team, we have two Force Commanders. This is Best Noob. We also have Pibb. These guys fighting in melee combat with some awesome offense, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Pibb rocking the Black Templars elite scheme. And rounding off the Space Marines is Adila, playing a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair, wade into combat too. This is the Ultramarines DLC from Relic. Red Tyranids, we have Aguxyz playing a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling commander of great mobility, powerful offense and a bit of support too. Begins in range combat but can get melee weapons, alongside Freeman playing a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist who can infiltrate and disrupt with some awesome offense and a bit of support too. And rounding off the teams, Ace of Swords, the big stumpy Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed. Some awesome offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee combat and starts with a basic synapse. Double Force Commanders on this east side. Then I was going to say it would be awesome to see like a sea of Hormagaunts supported by the Hive Tyrant and Lictor Alpha's Pheromone Cloud, but against double Force Commanders that could be really bad. Pibb going after that Lictor Alpha. He needs to turn and engage the Hormagaunts now as they get close. The Force Commander of Best Noob getting shot to pieces. There's the Flesh Hook on a Tactical Marine model, getting him in big trouble against those Hormagaunts. Holy crap. All of those attacks on a single model. He might go down here. So they're going for the garrison, are they? Yep, the safety of the garrison. And the Force Commander of Pibb is chasing them down. Hive Tyrant keeping the pressure up here, tying up those Tactical Marines for ages. He's still got half of his hit points, have soaked up so much damage. Shotguns are up, and I expect to see a hell of a lot of shotguns. Best Noob with double scouts. Double shotguns can be awesome against Tyranids early on. Lictor Alpha does get away there, well judged by Freeman. And we see the Power Sword coming up for Pibb with bigger Battlecry buffs and some power melee damage. Can chop up the Warrior Brood maybe if they hit the field, and the Hive Tyrant goes down. He did use Seismic Roar there, so he's got his Rending Talons in play. A bunch of war gear coming up pretty quickly. Termagant Broods backing off now. What's going on the west side? A bunch of Termagants died, it looks like. Shotgun scouts for Adila. I think it would be worthwhile to get a turret over here, maybe in this kind of area, to hold this contested power and cover this approach. You're basically forcing the Tyranid to either call for help over here or get Tyrant Guard up in tier 2, since I don't think zone throw shots do a lot to turrets. On the other hand though, if Aguxyz can get close to this power and put up a Hive node, that'd be pretty freaking annoying too, especially if he gets a melee Ravener so he's not affected by the range debuff. Nice grenade from Pibb. Smack. Doesn't get a warrior model, but killed 3 Termagants. That's not bad. Devastators surely over on this east side, you would expect. Tyranids want to try and get through, and they want to put pressure on the power. Space Marines don't mind that much in a 3v3 if you get a bunch of map control. If you're not bashing their power or killing stuff, they will come back pretty strong in tier 2 always. We've got the Barb Strangler for the Warrior Brood. That on-demand suppression and a decent burst of damage from that thing too is really freaking useful. Flamer Tactical Marines for Best Noob. I'm guessing he wants to push through and bash on power. There's a Brood Nest going up. Global ability of the Hive Tyrant, a very good one it is too. Scouts dropping a model. Not sure where Pibb is. Oh, here's some scouts moving up. Adila under pressure on the west side. We have a Warrior Brood. These guys with power melee weapons can leap into combat just like that. Some awesome passive disruption from them. Tunnels going on, and he's going to push against the power now with double Toxin Sacks. Termagants and the Ravener taking shots too. Warrior Brood dillying and dallying. Looks like they might be using the tunnel to go back to base and heal up quickly perhaps. Retreat grenade from Best Noob, a pretty good one. Nicely done, killed 3 models. Couldn't quite get the entire brood. Are these guys upgraded? No, they're not. So as you may know from the previous faction war, these are switching to a single game, and in that light I have asked the players to not concede and to play the games out, since it's only one of them. Warrior Brood will finish the cat. Try and focus them down. Of course, you want those synapse bombs going off. Devastator's pushing up for best known. They need to try and be aggressive with these guys. Keep pushing back, keep moving up while watching your flanks. Can they get this brood nest down? It's providing a small health regen for this stuff, and of course allows them to reinforce. And the reinforcement range is pretty damn big, so it's awesomely powerful if you can protect it. Could have put it back further towards the power, I think. Would have been a bit safer there. Tactical Marine's dropping a model. Gonna take a Barb Strangler shot too. Ouch, and it got the scouts. They're trying to take out that nesty scouts again. Tons of damage there, but they do get away, and more crippling poison to control that force commander. He's really struggling to get into combat. This guy might go down, in fact, from range shots. 17 hit points, barely gets away. Vengeance rounds in effect from Pibb, but there is a Ravener Brood Burrow Strike. These guys have their Devourers, and that's good play from Tyranids. They pulled back a bit to their nest, wait for stuff to reinforce, and then pounced. And these Devastators are not going to be able to hold off all of this stuff by themselves, and that's a Burrow Strike anyway. So they can push through again and try and shoot this power here. Not looking good for Space Marines in Tier 1. Aguxyz going into Tier 2 too. One generator up over here. The node is being repurchased, so that got bashed pretty badly. Double shotgun scouts for Adila is a good way to go, but I think he needs to follow that up with Devastators or a turret or something. Or maybe the Mastercrafted Bolter and Bionics would have been pretty good. But he might want to be getting the Plasma Gun because he knows Aguxyz has a Warrior Brood. Looks like he should be able to get out of his power area here though. Shotgun blast on the Termagants. Techmarine and Tactical Marines are not firing here. There we go. Move up, fellas, and get some shots off. Did they bash? They did bash completely as well. The node is being repurchased. 332 to 490. Tyranid is looking pretty good against these Space Marines. But look at this. Pibb capping the VP with his force commander level 2 now. 50 DPS power melee from that sword. And a little plasma pistol too, which helps out here and there. Holy crap, a whole lot of dead Termagants. Did he lose a squad? Nope. Both broods still up. These guys have only 2 models though. Little delay in retreat there. And he's got a capillary tower near his base and a Tyrant Guard on the way. Techmarine does have some good tools to use against a Tyrant Guard. Can drain all of its energy with his orb so that it can't go into shield wall or charge away. Can also use the plasma gun to do huge amounts of damage, and signal armor's mark target, of course, to help facilitate that damage and shoot that thing down. Down goes Best Noob's force commander there, just got shot to pieces. Lots of pressure still on this east side. Looks like Pibb is now putting some forces in the mid and trying to control it, which is a good play, I think. Best Noob should join him there, try and drag those Tyranids around. Don't want to always fight that critical mass on the east side if you don't have to. Space Marines, of course, know all about critical mass, but theirs comes a hell of a lot later. Pretty much unstoppable once they get to that, the Space Marines, with Land Raiders and Terminators, all that kind of thing. We do have Adrenal Gland Warrior Brood from Aguxyz, so melee synapse is in effect, giving massive buffs to these Hormagaunts, and they're getting the Endless Swarm as well. It's going to be 10 models of scary Hormagaunts. Decent grenade, but those Hormagaunts are all leaping around and spread out. Shotgun blast too. Scouts do not want to retreat through all of that, so they're trying to get away here, but I don't think they're going to make it. It's going to lose his scout squad, and there's a Tyrant Guard to deal with now. Adila is down to a single Tactical Marine. Needs to use his drop pod maybe. He has a lot of red. Best Noob's force commander still down here. Tyranid is looking very strong. Ace of Swords with a Zoanthrope. Venom Brood up for Freeman in case a Dreadnought makes an appearance, or a Razorback. Also providing range synapse, of course, to 2 Ravener Broods and 4 Termagant Broods. So massive range damage over there now, potentially. More power bashes, looking really bad for Space Marines. Whirlwind on the way for Pibb. Adila needs to recover, but much easier said than done. Does he have the plasma gun up? He's going for the plasma gun on the Techmarine. Not cheap, as you can see. 120, 30. There's a seismic roar off the Hive Mind. This guy fully kitted out with improved synapse to buff all of the non-synapse Tyranids on the field and the warp field to increase his durability out there. Ravener Brood tying up these double plasma cannons for Pibb, which might be a mistake because they're not controlling any particular area right now, so these guys might not be able to set up for good periods of time and hold their lines kind of thing. But we'll see. Also has a whirlwind, which could do some wonders. Won't knock down the Hive Tyrant or the Tyrant Guard, but everything else will be flung around. Oh, look at this from Aguxyz now. Those plasma cannon devastators are not getting away. And that leveled up the warriors, I think. Nope, leveled up the Horngons. These guys level 2 now. Base turrets coming into effect. 250 to 459. Where is that Zoanthrope? It's in the middle, taking shots. Oh, just wiped out something there. Looks like devastators of some kind, I think, were wiped out, maybe. Whirlwind getting shots from long range, not the most accurate thing ever. But if there's a big blob of stuff, as there tends to be with Tyranids, it can do some work for you. Lictor Alpha, what have you got? He's got Corrosive Claws, Power Melee with a damage debuff. Well, like a damage resistance debuff, I should say. And Deadly Jump, which is awesome. Damage and destruction on landing. Oh, so Adila did call in some tactical marines with the drop pod. Really helps Space Marines recover that thing. Down goes that drop pod though, and Tyrant Guard is leveled to 2, up to 2750 hit points with super heavy infantry armor. Need all of the plasma and power melee you can muster. Look at the pressure though from the Tyranids. They are just swarming on the Space Marines, who are never really able to gain that foothold they need. Under immense pressure here in tier 3 now for Aguxyz and Ace of Swords, and Freeman could go if he wanted to. There's so much stuff here. Ace of Swords could put up a Brood Nest to be really spiteful. East side is pretty much completely lost now, and they're on their natural VP. Whirlwind still in play. Couple of really good plasma cannon shots might be able to switch things up, but looking quite dire here for the Space Marines. Ravener Brood level 2. What have we got in terms of the heroes here? Oh, we do have the Thunderhammer Force Commander for Best Noob, still level 1 though. Force Commander for Pibb, getting the Teleporter pack at level 2. Level 3 Techmarine with Plasma Gun. Ravener Alpha now has Synapse Aura for damage, which is pretty scary. A 25% damage buff in a radius of 25 for allied Tyranids, which are all of them. And level 2 and level 3 on the other guys. 87 to 459. Looks like the VPs are going to count down right here, and the Tyranids are going to take this. It's triple cap right now. It will turn into a 2-to-1, I think, but I can't see the Space Marines getting any of the other VPs. They're just going to kill as many xenos as they can before the game ends right now. Thunderhammer Force Commander going after that Hive Tyrant. Done so much work soaking up damage. Just couldn't get into their rhythm. Sometimes it happens. You just really struggle to make an impact in the engagements and you can never get a foothold. Trying a formation on retreat path over there. Hitting some Tyranids actually, but they are just swarming through. This looks pretty awesome. That is Tyranid power for you. Whirlwind backing away. It survived. Double cap now, and that will be the end of it, I think. Adila was able to push through up here and do some damage. Maybe it would have compensated for the east side being pretty overrun. But having both sides pushed back like that, very difficult to recover, because you can't help out your ally because your side is gone too. Triple cap now. Some spore mines, I think, being dropped in by Freeman are at the end there, maybe. I guess we'll never know. And there it is. Tyranids take it. They are the new faction war champions. Level 4 Techmarine at the end. Level 3 all of the Tyranid guys. So the Tyranids will move on and fight someone else next. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.